to him. And possibly a long cut down into the corner. He's got some choices here. Goes for the side. And now he's got a great angle to work the cue ball right back across the table for the red 3 that's on the right-hand side of your screen.
This match thus far has been a case of Bustamante playing very well and Wu just not getting a good look at the table.
Yes, his table management, Bustamante's table management is extremely strong. What a confidence builder it must be to sit between racks and realize that you're walking away from the world champion or former world champion.
Yeah. Jovel has just had the touch of a surgeon this entire match. Not put a foot wrong.
How many former world champions do we still have in this? We've got Ralph Souquet. Alex Pagulayan is still alive.
Oliver Ortman.
Oliver Ortman's still there. That's 3. Chow, that's 4. And Wu, that's 5. And Mika, 6. We've still got some world champions kicking around. Uh-oh. Well, that's okay. That could have been bad, but it worked out.
Did he want to run into that 8, though?
I don't think so. Why would you flirt with that? It was in perfect position for him to take it either in the corner or the side. Now he's only got the corner. And now it's going to be tougher for him to get that cue ball off the rail. He's going to have to hit this puppy a little bit firmer than he might like to.
Yeah, I like what he did there. Also, he put it over the pocket so he could cue through the gap of the jaws.
Right.
Actually, he's cueing over the jaw.
Well, Bustamante rolling. And Goran Milutinovic trailing Elaine Martel of Canada 5-1. Back here on the main table, it'll be Jovel Bustamante stepping up.
Jovel Bustamante to break, leading 4 racks to 0.
Wow, there's a trend going on here. Chinese Taipei trailing in all 3 matches that they're participating in at the moment. But you know that that's going to change.
Well, what I want to know is if this man's going to change his break, because he keeps getting hooked on the 1 ball. He's making his job much tougher than it needs to be. Nope.
Strong cut break. How's he looking on the 2? I think he'll take this.
Yeah, I like this one now.
But, boy, he's going to have an adventure getting from the 2 to the 3 here.
He puts 2 balls away. Leaves 7 up to play. He's still using that firm break. He must be uncomfortable with changing his break shot.
It's a thin cut on the 2. How does he get back for the 3 here, Jerry?
Well, I believe he can. You know what? I think I would just check it with inside English and come up to center table and not try to do too much.
Put some left English. He seems to be cueing with the opposite English.
Then he's going to try and spin around 2 rails, asking the cue ball to do a lot. Oh, wow. Look at this.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Didn't work out. That's where you ask the cue ball to do too much work. There are too many things that can go wrong. I think I would have settled for a longer shot. You know he can make the shots.
Take what the table gives you.
Absolutely.
This is a thin cut, but relatively, I wouldn't say easy position on the 4. This cue ball is going to be going, he's going to be sawing back and forth, as we say in Filipino.
And he's missed the shot. And will he leave Wu anything this time? Wu can see the ball. The cut is paper thin. The bank, however, is on, and that's a two-way shot. If he plays it with the right speed and misses it,
I guess he wants it to miss it somewhere there.
right.
But Wu really must be feeling hard done here. This is one of the better looks he's had at this table, and it's nothing much.
Let's see if the banks are open for Wu. You know what? From my view, it looks like he might be trying this cut. Surely not. Yeah, there's the bank. And it's in, and Wu is off to his start, finally. At the table with opportunities now.
And Wu just has to make the most of this inning here. Needs to pile on the racks to keep pace with Joven. That was a superb bank, and it didn't even look like he was really playing it as a two-way shot, Jerry. I think that was a full-blooded attempt there at that bank.
I agree.
I guess he felt no use in playing, you know, having an insurance policy on that shot when you're really confident with the shot.
He's picked his pace up now. Playing more aggressively, obviously. He's probably happy just to be playing. And Wu drops his first 9 ball. Is correct.
Rack 6.
For those of you who may not be familiar,
One
alternate
rack
break
to 4.
means you trade breaks with your opponent. You break rack 1, he breaks rack 2, you break rack 3, he breaks rack 4. Winner break is just what it says. Whoever wins the rack gets the next break. Oh, what will Wu do? He's gone with a hard break. I don't think these guys were watching yesterday.
Wow, and one thing about Wu, I cannot recall ever seeing him breaking from the other side of the table. He's a left-hander and he just likes breaking from this side. We had one tournament in Indonesia a couple of years ago where nobody was making anything from that side and everybody was making it from the right side, and he just kept on breaking from the left side and breaking dry. Well, he's got a shot on the 2.
Yeah, he's got a couple of problems, though. The 6 ball blocked from its closest pocket by the 8, and the 4 ball blocked by the 7. So he's got some work to do. You know he doesn't want to have to play a safety. He needs points.
So you're of the opinion that if a player is behind, he should be more aggressive.
Oh, sure. If you're ahead, you play like a lamb. If you're behind, you play like a lion. And we have a player nicknamed the Lion, but we don't have one nicknamed the Lamb.
All the aspiring pool players out there, that nickname is up for grabs.
It's available. Ooh, he came up short from where he wished to be. That makes the combination tougher, and it takes away the ability to send the 4 to one side of the 7 and keep the cue ball on the other.
Only 5 balls left, but this is going to be an interesting rack because of this cluster and the 6-8 as well. He may be considering after he gets this combination, if he gets this combination, to play the billiard from 6 to 8 afterwards. This is a tough combination, Jerry.
It is tough. It's very tough. He's got to also play shape on the 5 while he's playing this. I mean, on the 4, excuse me. You can't just turn it loose.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Great shot from Wu. Now we'll need to put the 4 in the same corner and, as Bob suggested, get shape to play the billiard on the 8. And what we're talking about when we say billiard, he'll drive the cue ball into the 6, and then from the 6, the cue ball will pocket the 8.
But he made that combination look easy, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was surprisingly easy. Well, he's
got. Does he have the angle?
I think he's overrun it. Now he's still got it, but it's tougher than it was before.
Is there a roll-up safety here? Use the
now
8.
he can do that. He can drive the 6 to the other side of the 8, but I think he's still going to play this carol.
Oh, he needs a really thin hit on the 6, though.
Yeah, but that'll help him maintain position on the 6 anyway.
Not comfortable with it.
Well, he's probably not comfortable with the fact that he overran his shot. He has to get that out of his mind. There you go.
Straight.
He's going to have to cheat the pocket on the 6 to be able to move much up table, and he's going to have to really pound this ball. Again, we have seen balls that are hit real firmly jaw right out of these pockets. Key shot. Trying to draw back and spin up table for the 9. Ooh.
It rattles in, but it goes.
And Bustamante watching. Wu with the opportunity now to draw within 2, cut the lead in half at 4-2. It's there. Wu now becoming. Well, Wu wound up with a shot
7,
after his break last time.
Turning 2 racks to 4.
See if he changes anything up. Nope, same break.
Oh, he doesn't like that.
No, he's got no available pocket for the 1 ball. Unless he wants to come up with a bank. Watch where this yellow 1 ball goes. It's headed toward the left of your screen. You would like it to have stayed right there, but instead it just keeps on rolling. And the cue ball by the side pocket. You like the kick?
You can play a negative safety, you know, hitting the right side of that 1 ball and making it crawl up the long rail. And then keep the cue ball to the right. Maybe the 3 could be a blocker there.
Could be.
I don't think he's playing that. He's hitting this with top.
Perhaps he's just going to swap sides. Oh, he missed it.
Unbelievable!
1 hand.
He was going for that paper-thin cut.
That's unbelievable.
That's aggressive pool.
Wow. Surely a safety there was easier than that for what he was trying to do.
You would think so. He never put that 1 ball in danger.
And he's left a simple table for Joven. What a time for an air ball here by Wu.
Well, he'll have a few moments to rethink that. Not that he can take it back. You know that Bustamante had to think he was going to be coming to the table facing a very tough shot.
Instead, he got ball in hand.
You can't give gifts to these guys.
Yep. 2 unforced errors apiece now.
Four and 5 ball are both on the same side of the table. As long as he doesn't come in straight into the 5 ball, just about any shape will do.
Wow, he's pretty straight here. A little bit of an angle, but he can still follow this or stun it along that head string.
What he has to watch out for is if he stuns it, he's got to get past this 8 ball. He can't wind up there.
And if he were to do that, he'd have to pound it. And in pounding it, you know, he could put himself in jeopardy. He might just stroke draw this and avoid the 8 altogether.
Watch out for the side.
He's jaw hooked.
Yes,
He's
he
jaw
is.
hooked.
Yes, he is. He cannot see the 6 ball. This corner of the pocket will keep him. Look at this.
Wow, what a let off here.
He's sitting on, he's sitting on what we call the shelf of the pocket. And no way to get around that. I'm sure he's too close just to jump over the edge of the pocket.
Both players here making catastrophic errors. Snooker players call this being angled when they don't have a shot because of the jaw of the pocket getting in the way, or the knuckle, as they say in snooker. Is there a masse even on here?
I think he has to masse it because there's certainly not any easy kicks. That's what he's trying to do. He's going to swerve this cue ball around the nose of the pocket. He doesn't like it.
You might just have to go for the 1 rail kick and hope for the best.
Well,
you know, there could be a way if he does the 1 rail kick and then softly hits the bottom part of the 6, maybe the 9 will be a savior.
yeah, he's got to hit the correct part of the 6 ball. He's got to hit the lower half of the 6 as you're watching.
I'll shot.
Not at that speed.
One hand.
Well, we're seeing some errors creep into our players. Stick cue sticks, and we'll see if they can relax again and get back in gear.
You gotta wonder why. Perhaps Joven, you know, in hindsight, Joven off that 5 should have just been better served following that ball off the short cushion and back. Then the rail and the pocket and the 8 would have been taken out of play.
Well, these unforced errors that you're tracking, every one I've watched has been when he's trying to get perfect position instead of just settling for what the table will let him do. All to the advantage of Wu. Jovel Bustamante dominated this match early. He took the first 4 racks home, and we thought maybe he was going to have a little walkover. Wu disagreed. He's taken the last 3 racks, and he's breaking, got the opportunity to tie this match at 4. It's a race to 10.
Oh, what a great kiss from the 5. Or is it?
Well, it was, and it isn't.
The Again, the cue ball having a bit of a wander. Tell you what, you know what the shot here I like, Jerry?
Tell me.
Rail first on the 1, and then with a bit of left-hand spin, the cue hopefully will tickle the 2 and the 5.
It better tickle it firmly.
Loading it up with the spin.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great shot.
Oh, he went back and forth. He's going to take the combination.
Well, he has a more severe angle than you would think he would wish, but I'm sure he can check the cue ball coming off the rail so that he winds up with position on the 2. Yes, he does.
And he made a much harder combination earlier look easy, so
yeah,
he likes his combos.
As he ages, he'll learn. Combination shots are treacherous.
And that last jaw hook there by Jovel Bustamante, that has the feel of a turning point, I think, Jerry, in this match.
Does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can he draw back past that 6 and get to the 4 ball? Yes, he can.
Don't get straight. That's fine.
Former champion Wu, now almost certain to tie our match at 4 and continue breaking.
He has yet to have a break and run out in this match, but it looks like he is going to have one right here. Boy, what an overrun.
That is huge.
What an overrun there.
Straight on the 50-yard line and leaning into the middle of the table.
And we might be slightly hampered perhaps by the 9. These guys are making hard work out of some seemingly straightforward positions here.
Well, you know what Bustamante's hoping for. He just pointed his cue stick to the left-hand side of the table. That's where he wants the cue ball to wind up when he finishes the shot. So he's taking the 7 into the left-hand corner. And he's missed it. Or has he?
Staying up. Oh, but has he got cover with the 9?
He's looking at it. But he's waving his stick in disgust. There must be at least a good part of that ball sticking out. There you see it. He almost made it. Almost fluked it in that corner. But that didn't happen. It doesn't appear that Bustamante can make the ball, but he's got a fairly rudimentary safety by grabbing the 7 ball up table, leaving the cue ball behind the 9.
Yeah, and that 7 ball's a bit farther away from the rail to try the 2 rail kick to take it down on the opposite corner too, but maybe that's all he has. Oh, this is not a bad reply. It's a brilliant reply.
Well, now we'll see if Wu likes a jump cue, because that side pocket is available and it's close by.
This is perhaps maybe a 30-40% shot here for Wu.
Well, it could be more than that. He's not going back for the jump cue. You know, is he going to play this up in the corner and take the longer shot? That's what he's going to do. I like the decision. Easier than the jump.
Yeah.
And position on the 9 accomplishable, whereas with the jump the cue ball would be turned loose.
Oh, boy, I thought that was down, Jerry.
So did Wu. Now Bustamante
Settle down then, please.
has an opportunity that he must capitalize on. You don't get these very often.
And Bustamante stops the rot, feasting on the mistakes by Wu.
Bustamante takes. The crowd keeps filling in here as the day continues. Last night you couldn't get a seat during our feature matches.
Rack 9, Jovel Bustamante to break, leading 5 racks to 3.
You can bet as the evening wears on, there will be lots more pool fans in this auditorium. See if Jovel decides to take anything off his break, or if he just keeps on hammering away. Oh, he'll take this one. He will take this layout.
Yes, he will, except the 3 ball is tucked behind the 9. You can see it comes right back up and sits behind the 9 ball there in the diamond.
Looks like it's still available in either corner pocket, though.
Yeah, I believe it is. Just has to make sure the 9 doesn't get in his way.
I tell you what, I think the key shot here is the 2. He has to get from 2 to 3, and look at where the 4 and the 7 ball are. Those could be danger balls for Jovel.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to mess with those balls. This is the shot.
which way is he going to play it?
I think it's almost like a natural center ball. Take it near that 8 ball. What do you think?
Well, I like it better that way because it takes the 7 ball out of the equation, and it just seems an easier shot. But he's going to go the other way, I think. Nope, right up by the 8.
He's listening to us.
As well he should. Now just get shape on the 5 ball.
Look how loose that grip, his grip is.
Yeah.
Barely holding it.
Yeah, that's the trend these days, to loosen the grip. These new cue sticks constructed so marvelously, if you just let them do their work, they can do fantastic things for you.
Bit of follow. Yeah, maybe a bit of right hand English. Just a center ball.
Yeah, for those of you new to the game, we're no longer playing with just shaved down boards. There is technology in cue making now. Changing technology. I'm going to be very curious to see what we're playing with in 10 years.
Maybe they'll make a cue that'll allow me to run out. That would be nice.
There you go. The radar cue.
This is a handy run out here for Jovel Bustamante. Just what he needed.
You know, unlike in golf where they keep making the striking surface of the club larger, in billiards they're making the cue tips smaller, finding better performance.
Better spin, probably.
Better spin, less deflection by reducing the weight of the front end of that shaft.
This will be break and run out number 2 for Jovel Bustamante. Couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, Bustamante back in control. Take now a spectator. Bustamante trying to accomplish the same thing against Wu.
Rack 10, Jovel Bustamante to break, leading 6 racks to 3.
You know, going back to that upset by Darrell Peach, the great thing about pool is that the more you play, the better you get, you know.
Yeah.
And Radoslav Babica, he took out Marlon Manalo 10-1 in an outer table. And Babica, we've been seeing him every year, and these players just continue improving.
Manalo was hopping mad at himself after that matchup. See him literally storming through the hall.
This is dry. This is dry.
And there's a shot on the 1.
No, it's not dry. No, we have a ball down.
Oh.
It's the 5.
Yeah, I didn't see that ball fly in there either.
4.
And there's still a shot on the 1.
This is far from an easy out here. He may be forced to take the 3-9 combination on. So this is the big shot right here. He can take that cue ball to the lower right-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah, he's got shape now to move the cue ball where he needs it. No big problem getting up table.
Just does not want to snooker himself on the 8 here. And he's not if he takes that angle. That is pretty. That is pretty. The 3 might go down.
I think it does. I think it passes the 9, although he's taking a look at the combination. Let's face it, if he tries the combination and it fails, he'll wind up with a safety because where the 3 ball goes.
If the 3 passes, it certainly doesn't pass into a full pocket. Yeah, he's going to have to die this in with the pocket speed, and that's not what he wants to get on the 5. I think he should take this on, Jerry. He's got the best view.
It doesn't look like he's playing the combination. Nope. Into the pocket, and it's trying to spin the cue ball up table.
Great shot. Great shot. If that was me on the team with that shot, I would have taken the combination in a heartbeat, because I certainly don't have the skill to execute the shot that he just did. Tons of right-hand spin.
Watch outside pocket. Is he going to do it again? Oh, no, this time it falls. Bustamante needs to stay away from that side pocket. It doesn't like him very much.
Wow.
See the replay. There's never a doubt it's going to drop.
Unforced error number 4 for Jovel Bustamante, and he's let another very makeable run out go out the window.
From the angle he's putting on this, 7 ball must clear the 8 into the lower left corner. No, it does not. He's come on up to take the 7 ball all the way up table.
Well, gotta give him credit for finding a pocket for the table, keeping it simple. More twists and turns in this match.
Nigel Reese doing our refereeing honors, and Bustamante now resigned to the chair again. We're going to have to check your stats, Bob, and see what the largest
Back
number
11.
of unforced
Chia Ching's
errors
break.
a
Turn
winning
4 racks
player
to
has
6.
made this week. I doubt it's 5. Or are you up to 4 or 5 for Joven?
I'm up to 4 each.
4 each?
I did a match once in the old Asian tour, Alchiwai of Hong Kong against Kunihiko Takahashi, and one had 10 and one had 11.
That must have been an ugly match.
It took a while, I tell you about that. This is a friendly layout of balls here.
It is. This is beginning to look like the layouts we had last night, where there were no clusters, not much on the rail. Everything's just hanging around, ready to drop. Well, that was an error. He did not want to drive that 4-ball away. That checked up his cue ball and left him a lot further away from the 3 than he needed. The 3-ball right there waiting for him.
Yeah, but with his cue power, he should be able to get a nice draw shot here. Get back to shape for the 4.
Like that, nothing fancy. Knows he can make a half-table shot. Has a natural position to come off of this 4-ball and be in great shape for the 5. He'll probably come 2 rails out though, instead of the simple path that I drew.
Jovel Bustamante has had his chances to really put some distance between himself and Wu. And in rack number 7, he jaw hooked himself. And then in rack number 10, that scratch into that same side.
Tension. Ball gone, and Wu is back.
Ching to break, train 5 racks to 6.
Well, when we first began this match, it was all Bustamante. He took the first 4 racks. But since then, he's only claimed 2 more, while Wu has taken 5 of his own. So the worm is turning here.
Wow. Wu broke from the other side of the table. On the right side.
Right. And it didn't work. He made a ball, but he has no shot on the 1. Well, actually, he does have a shot on the 1 if you like that kind of shot.
He's got that rail first shot on the 1 here.
Yeah,
that's a tall order.
That's a tester. Lots of places to hide if he feels like doing that. Well, you see the cue ball rolling up into shape. I believe he's going to play it safe there, Bob.
Oh, that's rough. That's a good shot there. Joven's going to have to go for the 2 rail out and get lucky. Great weight on this cue ball.
Can't ask for too much more.
He's going to take the 1 rail escape.
Well,
lots of English on this.
Let's see. It doesn't. No. And he's not going to be satisfied. He wasted that trip to the table, giving Wu a great opportunity here. Wu's 2-ball appears to be blocked by the 5. Yeah, by the 5. But he's shown a propensity to make these combinations.
Yeah. We could be having ourselves a virtual race to 4 coming up. Who can draw level?
Well, when you see a player do this, coming up and down off a shot, either he can't decide whether to play for the corner or the side, or he just doesn't like the shot. Either way, it's not a good sign.
Is he thinking of playing the cue ball, glancing it off that 3?
I wouldn't think so. Then he could really create a mess down there in that corner. Well, he has. And wow, has it worked for him? I think it has.
Had that cue ball rolled just an inch or 2 short, then he would have had a fun shot on the 2-5 combination.
Well, he's looking away from this shot as when he plays it, so it's not as easy as the other combinations he had. And the cue ball, he's going to have to send 2 rails to get shape on the 2, and then he has to worry about being blocked by the 7 or the 3. So there's a lot going on with this shot, unless the 2 ball clears into that pocket, and we can't tell it. Oh, beautiful shot. Able to hold the cue ball, keep it down with the 2. Back to where he was standing to take the 3 ball into the side. The next ball for him to shoot will be the 6 ball, the green ball, right by the side pocket. So he won't have any problem getting there.
Stun run through there for Wu.
Bustamante needing another shot. Drawing across the table now for the 7. And he can draw straight back again for the 8 ball.
And this is going to be the 3rd rack in a row, and Wu has a real chance here to just shut Bustamante out of this match if he continues running racks.
Rack number 12 goes Wu's way. That stage in this tournament where we will have a lot of close matches. All these players quite capable of stringing racks together now. Wu thinking things over, relaxing a little bit. Bustamante trying to keep the adrenaline down. That's the problem with being in the chair. Your arm goes cold and your nerves get hot.
Back 13, Chia Ching to break, 6-6.
This is a massive break here. Chia Ching has never led in this match. A break and run out will give him his very first advantage, his very first lead. And he's moved over to that side of the table. It's been profitable for him.
Well, he's making the wing ball. In fact, he's made 3 balls, but he has no shot on the 2.
Well, I tell you what, this is a jumpable situation.
Well, it is, but if this fewer number of balls on the table, you might be selling out the rack if you missed that jump. Right now, he's staying with the playing cue.
Well, it's not an easy push out either.
No, that's just what I was studying. Where would you push to? Tough situation.
Well, I'm surprised he's doesn't seem to be at least thinking of the jump. I think he's committed to pushing out here.
What it looks like, he was going to push down into that lower left corner pocket and possibly leave the 9 ball as a blocker so that the only shot open is a kick. But then it's an easy kick. Bustamante can kick that 2 ball down here and back behind these balls and leave the cue ball there. So I don't know.
Push out call.
He's called the push. He's relying on Bustamante to make an error. I think the biggest error would be to put Wu back in. Bustamante studies the situation. Wu is studying Bustamante.
I'm not sure. Is this a shot you were describing still on? You may not be able to see enough of the 2 to do that shot.
No, he's coming off the rail first.
Coming off the rail, I see.
Yeah, kick into the back of the 2. Send it down behind the wall of balls.
That's a hard shot. It may be the best shot available for him. Because if he just thins this 2, it kind of goes near that pocket.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he's, you can tell this about Wu's push out. It certainly has gotten Bustamante thinking. And I think that's what you want to do with a push out.
Wu awaits the decision, but I think the decision's now been made. Oh, he could see the ball. He didn't even have to kick into it.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. The camera angle perhaps fooling us a little bit.
I was surprised Wu left him that. Left him a full ball. At any rate, it has worked out to Wu's advantage. He has a shot on the 2. Only 6 balls to get through here, and this will be the toughest shot he faces. Bustamante, well, he's lost one opportunity, and it's not certain that he'll get another.
He struck that good.
Yes, he did. He did overrun it just a hair. But he has a lot of options on that 5 ball.
I think he just hits this with a little bit of lift. Goes side cushion, short cushion, then back to the middle of the table for the 5. Unless he really wants to die this and take the 5 into the other corner pocket.
Well, he's leaving his cue stick now, as always, on the table where he's trying to get the cue ball too. And you're right, I like the 3-rail option as well. There he goes. And he's gotten almost where he wanted that to be. Certainly a shot that he can accept.
This is now Wu trying to go for his 4th straight rack. And when Wu gets into this kind of form, he's just imperious, you know, just does not miss the balls.
Well, when he sinks that 9 ball, this will be the first time in the match that Wu will have led. And that's another pattern we've seen this week. It doesn't seem to pay to lead these matches early. It's the comeback kids who are capturing the victories. 9 ball down, Wu. In the
14 from Chia Ching to break, leading 7 racks to 6.
Wu leading 7-6, as our referee Nigel Reese has just informed you. And he would like to put a string together. He's put 2 strings of 3 each together. He won racks 5, 6, and 7, and then rack 10, 11, and 12.
And
oh
13.
yeah, and 13. That's right. I forgot to mark that one down. So.
All shot, ball in hand.
Neither player seems to be able to maintain momentum for very long. Something happens that draws their opponent back to the table. And this is a great opportunity, ball in hand now. You would expect players of this caliber to win with ball in hand.
That is a horrid piece of luck for Wu Chia Ching. He did everything right there. Saw that cue ball go down. Spanked in by another ball.
I question whether the 2 ball passes the 6. It may. We'll know by how this shot is played.
He's got a cue over that 9.
And has to watch that he doesn't foul it. We are playing all ball fouls, so if his shirt should drop onto the 9 ball, it's a foul. Well, the 2 did not pass the 6, so it will go into the same corner as the 1.
Now he needs to play for the 4, and he's got a lot of angle to kill this. Perhaps he would have preferred a bit less angle here, Jerry. This is a big shot.
Chooses to go through the gap and all the way across the table.
Reverse cut. He's got a tough shot here to hold for the 5.
Yeah, I think he's going to regret that decision. Had he been able to play the 4 into this pocket, he would have had easy shape on the 5. But as is, now when the 4 ball comes toward this corner, the cue ball comes this way. I wonder if he can collide with the brown 7 and hold the cue.
That is a very, very delicate shot, but he may be forced to play it.
Well, he struck the 7, but he missed the 4. And he didn't hit the 7 hard enough as a result of cueing back. Oh, has he got
wow.
Just look at his face. I don't think so. He's not smiling.
Boy, and I think he's snookered. I think he's hooked, is he?
It looks that way from the camera.
He's definitely hooked. And how many opportunities can Jovel Bustamante allow to go to waste?
Yeah, that was just, frankly, a careless shot, the way he played position on that 4.
And I think on the 2, he just left himself too much angle and too far away on the 2.
Right.
Overamped the draw shot.
Wu looking to swerve this ball. Play a very gentle masse on the 4. And that may bring Bustamante back, because that's a tough shot. It does. But Bustamante doesn't have to pay for his error. Wu did that for him. There you see it.
Great effort.
And now Bustamante can just draw halfway up this rail, have an easy shot on the 5 ball.
That 4 is right in that pocket, and sometimes it's hard to play with this kind of, to control the cue ball. But he's experienced enough.
Well, he's again overrun his position and has made his next shot a much tougher one than it could have been.
Yeah, because it's not into a full pocket. Well, sometimes, you know, I've noticed when you've got a situation like that, the ball up in the pocket, and he may have played that rail first.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when you play a shot rail first, you overrun it. That happens about 90% of the time when I play a rail first shot. And Jovel has to come up with something here. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. With perfect speed.
And now the behind the back shot, as we see the previous ball go down. Well, this one should go Bustamante's way to tie us at 7. And then we'll be down to a race to 3.
He doesn't have the greatest angles on this 8, does he, Jerry?
No, he doesn't. And remember that side pocket that hates him? He's got to stay well away from that. And does. Both these players have slowed their pace considerably from what I'm used to watching. And I think it's hurt both. 7-7. Wu versus Bustamante.
Track 15. Jovel Bustamante to break. 7-7.
Generally, the break has not been kind to either player. They're making the balls, but then the tables are rolling out tough. They're having trouble getting a shot on the lowest numbered ball. And as a result, our match is now stretching toward the 2-hour mark. So there's going to be some endurance involved with this one.
Bustamante likes this layout. He did a good job of holding the cue ball. Gets batted away, but there's a shot on the 1. But we've had our fair share of seemingly easy racks suddenly get complicated. So plenty of work to be done.
Well, earlier, when you would have thought that Bustamante would have been nervous in the very first few racks of this match, he was running through tables like this very quickly. I think he's allowed a little doubt to crawl inside that brain of his. And he has overrun this shot just a bit.
Now he's quickened up his pace. I think he's seen an easy table.
No, he just
into rhythm.
He just plays so much better when he plays a little bit quicker, and you see that all the time with the players.
But you've got a few players in mind that you'd like to tell that to.
There are some slow pokes on the tour, yes. Watches as Bustamante now moving toward claiming rack number 8 on his side.
Boy, and Jovel really needed this one. Third break and run out of the match.
He's got it. Well, Bustamante leads 8-7 now. Nigel Reese finishes putting the diamond together for us. These referees here have done a great job all week. I haven't heard any players arguing with any calls. They've done a great job of being invisible, which is exactly what they should be.
Bustamante to break, leading 8 racks to 7.
Watches Bustamante come to the table. The 1 ball went down, and the 2 ball is available, but it's tough.
Yeah, he lost the cue ball here. It was heading towards that side of the table, and he got batted back. This is a double tough shot here, not only in terms of pocketing but position. And that green 6, there it is. It's in a funny place for this shot. Is that white ball going to end up hitting that 6?
Well, if he plays it into the upper right corner, if he plays this 2 ball over here, the cue ball is headed right toward the 6. But he does have a shot. Well, from one of our camera angles, it looks like he can. No, he's got to flirt with that 6 ball. See if he can get around it.
Played safe.
Played safe.
Safe. What a shot! That's good thinking there. The cuffs are on Chia Ching. That is a clear thinking shot there by Jovel Bustamante.
Well, the easiest escape is 1 rail, and that also has the possibility of winding up as a safety, as the cue ball could be moving down towards this group of balls at one end of the table. Tough kick, though, when you're this close to the rail. What we're saying, obviously, is come here, into the 2 ball, and then let the cue ball bleed down here behind these balls. But it's tough to get the angle right when you're this close to the rail, to your contact rail. So this is actually missable. He doesn't miss it. Does he fluke it?
You almost think that maybe he deserved that fluke. But then again, even if it goes down, he has no shot on the 3, so either way.
Well, he's given Bustamante the ammunition he needs to fire his way through this rack and get up on the hill.
needs a deep screw here. This is going to be a nice shot. And of course, the snooker turn for a draw shot.
We're watching.
That is huge here. Bustamante on the threshold of the hill. Does he have the right angle? He just has to slowly roll this forward.
Yeah, I like this. Doesn't need to make the cue ball do much work at all. Just as long as he gets it to the other side of the center line, he'll be fine.
It looks like the hardest shot here is onto the 8.
Yeah, that's not that tough. Again, has to watch that shirt of his. Tends to be falling away from his chest. Now just center ball shot. Let the speed do the work. And he's not happy. He's come up short. He can still make this, but
wow,
there's no need for this shot to be this tough.
That's been the story of this match, really. Jovel Bustamante, for some reason, been making life hard on himself over and over and over again.
I don't think either player is going to be happy with their performance when they review this tape. Their shot making hasn't been spot on. Their position play certainly. Nevertheless, Bustamante needs this to get to the hill.
Remember that and give a hand to this fellow.
Well, if they do, they'll do it on the break shot.
Rack 17, Jovel Bustamante to break, leading 9 racks to 7.
Well, Wu is a former champion. Jovel Bustamante, you can say, needs this round of 16 place more than he does to assure his appearance next here. But this is it. This is the shot of the match.
Bing ball down, cue ball kicked all around the table, so it's a matter of luck as to whether or not he winds up with a shot. He does, but it's a combination. Cue ball kicked hard back up table.
He's got to make sure he gets shape on the blue too afterwards. There's the one going down. That hasn't happened much in this match.
Yeah, this table is not set up as the easiest we've seen by far. You've got a couple of groups of 2, which don't pose any outright problems, but can create difficulties if a player overruns or underruns his position.
Well, this is the key shot, I would think.
Oh, yes.
Into the rail, 2 into the rail.
Oh, well, another error. And that seems to be the story of this match. Neither player brought their A game to the table today.
Yeah, he hit that 2 ball too close to the 4 into the rail. Needed to hit that into the rail earlier. And Wu now needs a break and run out ×3. He was in a hill match yesterday against Fabio Petroni. Could he be in another one now?
It seems to be destined that we're going to go to double hill here, although we'll need another rack out of this man to do that.
No, he did good to separate the 5 and the E9 there. Now the 5 goes in either pocket.
moving the cue ball back across the table. And out for the 5.
No, nothing's easy at this point.
Needs to make sure he leaves enough angle on that 6 to get back across the table for the brown 7. Bustamante. I think he may know we're also headed for double hill.
Sometimes the difference between the great and the very good is so small.
Wu not yet ready to make his exit. But Wu has the chance to tie it up here.
Lots of tension now
Back
in
18,
this
and Chia Ching to break, showing 8 reacts to 9.
this main table.
Wu going over to the right-hand side of the table, staying there. That seems to be working a little bit better for him than his usual left-hand side.
He needs a good break here, and the balls owe him a roll. I think they owe him a good turn.
Watch out, cue ball. Well, I don't call that a good turn, Bob.
Yeah, well, he lost the cue ball. He overcooked this bottom by a lot, and he will be forced to push.
Neither player doing a great job of squatting that cue ball in the middle of the table, which is the obvious goal on the break. Not an easy push situation here either, Bob.
Whenever that object ball is close to the hole, it's tough to push. And he's looking to take that cue ball there up by the short rail. Just leave a sliver. I guess when in doubt, sometimes you just push to show just a piece of the ball. It's one way to look at it.
I don't think he can find anything he likes. But you know, he has no one to blame but himself. No one's making him break this way.
Yeah. Do you try and kick at this? Is there any, value in kicking at this ball?
Not with your opponent on the hill.
You know, with that, if that 9 ball was out of the way, he might even try the long kick shot. Might even make the 2. But then the 3 is in a strange spot. What a time for a decision here by Wu.
Push out goal.
Well, there's the push shot from Wu. And now it's Bustamante's decision.
How about that? Po Chang has eliminated Oliver Ortman. Po just has a great record in recent memory here at this event.
Bustamante has a lot of studying to do. He's going to put him back in. He's going to put Wu back in and say, you made this mess. Let's see what you can do with it.
Yeah, that was a really thin cut on the two. Just didn't like it. Looks like Wu's looking at kicking at this two.
Well, what else are you going to do? It's just not offering you much. I think he can get just a sliver of it, can't he? Well, not a bad result.
Yeah, that's a pretty good containing shot.
He's left length.
Now, can Jovel Bustamante find a way to make use of that 3-8-6 cluster? Please somehow get the cue ball there.
Huh. That would be tough. And, you know, really, there's not an easy way to get back down table to make that 3-ball.
You got to think maybe Wu is outfoxed Jovel here.
Well, if I were Jovel, I would put Wu back in a similar situation and just switch ends of the table with the 2 and the cue ball and leave a lot of length.
Make the 2 miss the 9 on the left side of the 9.
Yep, and just bank it back down table. But
well, he's got to get the strength perfect on that one, though.
Yes, he does.
He wants the 2 welded up against the other rail.
He goes for the cut. Oh! And he's broken the cluster up. Now is he?
What a shot!
What a shot indeed.
Oh! That's got to be the biggest shot of Jovel Bustamante's career.
Quiet, please.
That could be the shot that sends a former world champion home. Bustamante has solved all the problems the table presented in one fell stroke, and Wu knows it.
We weren't even considering that cut. It looked so thin.
Just when I thought Bustamante's nerves were going to prevent him from pulling off a great shot, he comes with that.
Yeah, and he hasn't really made very many great shots in this match. It's mostly, you know, good run-outs and safety, and then he comes up with, you know, the shot of the match by far.
Now he has to make sure he doesn't fall into that syndrome of where you make a great shot and then lose focus and miss an easy one.
His heart must be racing now.
Nope.
I think he just needs a stop ball here, does he?
I'd draw a little bit down table. Good enough.
Got the angle, just a center ball hit. Just avoid a scratch here.
Do remember, folks, this is a hometown boy about to send a world champion home. The crowds might put up a little noise for you if he gets down to this 9-ball and sinks it.
What a scout here by Jovel Bustamante. Listen to the